Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing a very highly requested video on how to get organized in 2021. So this is officially, is it my first? Yeah, it's my first video of 2021. So I'm really excited. Over the next couple of weeks, I kind of want to focus on, like planning and helping you guys get organized for the new year. And now, there's a bit of a backstory with me. A lot of people assume I've always been organized, but I can promise you I haven't. When I was probably my teenage years and early 20s, I was kind of like your stereotypical teenager. I was really messy, and I actually didn't realize at the time how much that mess contributed to my stress and anxiety levels. And especially, like, as you would know, when you walk into a room and it's clean and organized and there's not clutter everywhere, you naturally feel better. So I kind of want to help you guys kick off this year and help you guys get your homes and routines in order. So it's going to be a bit of like a Steffing crash course. So if you're new here, Steffing basically means to organize and declutter your home. So I'm basically going to be talking to you a little bit about implementing a new routine for you and make your home work for you. I know you can get really caught up, especially on Instagram, and especially like when you see all these perfect photos. And I want to really stress to you guys that being organized isn't about being perfect. It's about not feeling like you're a slave to your own home and your own life. And this is kind of what I'm all about. It's not about having all the perfect containers and labels, which, yes, like, I love that stuff, obviously, but I just want you guys to kind of feel like in control of your lives again, and I really hope this video can help. So I'm going to be giving you a bit of like a rundown on how you can kind of get started to, getting into your like some good routines, getting your house in order, and how you can actually start doing that without feeling completely overwhelmed. Because I know, when you like declutter a space, it always gets worse before it gets better. It's like you turn around and there's junk everywhere and you're like, what have I done? And for the everyday person who's, if you're a mum or you work full-time or whatever it is, it's not really sustainable or achievable to completely overhaul your whole home in a weekend. And that's where I come in, and I really hope this video can give you some guidance on where to get started and how you can sustain it as well, because that's the biggest thing that this whole lifestyle is about. It's about being sustainable and just making, your home work for you and not against you. So that's kind of what this video is about. So first I want to quickly just touch on how like mess and clutter can really affect our mentality and just our general health and well-being. As I mentioned before, when I was younger, I had clutter everywhere, and it is really hard to think properly when you're waking up to clutter. Now, I kind of like to think as being an organized person as looking after your future self. So when I'm meal prepping or I'm making sure I clean up the kitchen the night before, I'm technically looking after future Steph, because future Steph is not going to be very happy if she wakes up in the morning and there's dishes in the sink, there's crap everywhere, the kids' lunches haven't been made, and she's got like a whole lot of stuff to catch up on in one morning. It's not going to set up your day to be really productive. So that's kind of like how I like to think of it is, setting in these like routines in the afternoons or just parts of your day. You're looking after your future self, and that can really help you save so much time, and it's going to stop you from being so stressed. Being organized is also kind of like fitness. It's not like a destination. Like, you don't declutter your home and then your home is organized forever. It's not like that. It's something, these habits you need to implement every single day, just like a fitness journey. It's not the destination. You have to work at it every single day, and it's just going to become part of your routine. So small habits like making sure everything goes back where it belongs, decluttering pretty much every single week. I definitely want to stress that to you guys, is you're not going to overhaul your house and then it's going to stay that way. You're still going to get messy spaces. The bench is going to get cluttered every day, especially if you've got kids coming in and out. It's just something that you need to know, that you need to implement these habits every single day, and you're just looking after your future self. Now, the first thing you want to do before you even think about organizing or buying containers or labels or any type of storage solution is you need to declutter. You don't want to be organizing junk in your house that you don't need, and you will learn along the way what you actually need. Like for Ryan and I, for example, we only own 2 sets of sheets for our bed because that's all we need. And before I did a big declutter, I thought we needed like 6, but we don't. And I think for me as well, like, decluttering is something you will get better at. And because, Ryan and I, we've moved houses like 7 times now. I'm the one who's decluttered and had to pack up as we went. And with that, I kind of learned what I really needed and what I didn't. So I'm going to also be going through some like culling questions you can ask yourself if you get stuck on a certain item, especially in the wardrobe. Wardrobes can be really hard to declutter, so I'm going to be getting into that a bit later. I'm also going to be taking you around to different parts of the home and giving you my best organization tips and just like some routines you can do in each space to make sure you kind of keep on top of it. Now, as I mentioned, you're not going to be overhauling your whole house in one weekend. You can if you want to, if you've got the time to do that, 100% do it. But I don't want you guys getting overwhelmed. Like I said, if you're starting out and you want to say overhaul your lifestyle to be more healthier, just like I mentioned in my previous, like my weight loss and fitness journey blog, I found with that, if I tried to overhaul all these habits at once or tried to do all of it at once, it was too overwhelming and it was something that I wouldn't stick to. It wasn't achievable or sustainable. So this is where I came up with the 30-day declutter challenge, and I'll link it for you guys below. So basically with my challenge, every single day you were decluttering a small space of your home. Oh, that just went really bright. Sorry about the lighting, guys. So as I was saying, every day you're going to be decluttering a small space of your home. It's with this, I really don't want you guys to think about the big picture. I want you to think about that corner, that drawer, that cupboard. Every single day, spend 10 to 15 minutes is all I'm asking, and all you have to do is declutter that space. And over time, your whole home will be done. Now with decluttering, as I mentioned, that is something that's going to be ongoing because stuff is going to keep accumulating. You're going to get presents, you're going to buy things, kids are going to bring things home. So decluttering is something I do every single week. I'll be showing you how I kind of plan out my decluttering. Usually for me, I will make a list at the start of the week of some spaces that are starting to look a bit cluttered again. It could be the junk drawer. Yes, I have a junk drawer and I'll show you that later, but just spaces that are starting to look cluttered, and I will just make sure I can spend 10 to 15 minutes that week just to get rid of some junk. I'm going to quickly talk a little bit more about routines. So this is something that has really changed my life. So as you guys know, I love routines. I have a morning routine, I have an evening routine, I have a night routine. I even have a weekend routine, which you can see all on my YouTube channel. But these kind of routines are something that, as I said, looks after future Steph. So for example, a lot of us that have kids know it can be really hard to try and keep on top of all their school notes, their artwork, their sports stuff. So with my kids, I always like to make sure I prep their lunches the night before. I even make their sandwiches 3 days in advance and it stays fine in the fridge. You can also freeze sandwiches, just stuff like that, and make sure mornings run a lot smoother. And I always make sure I pack their lunch the night before, because the mornings are always the most stressful time, and that's why I really like to utilize my morning routine. I get up before the kids do. I have that time to myself because I know, you know, when you wake up and your kid's screaming in your face, it's not the best way to start the day. So I love to be able to get up, even if you can get up 45 minutes before the kids, just to get yourself set up, because then you can like have your time to yourself and then you can turn up and be, you know, the best mum you can be. Another really great tip if you have kids is to have like a kids station. So this is basically kind of like a command center just for the kids. So you've got all their sporting stuff ready to go, their bags, their school notes, all of this stuff is in one section. So you're not running around trying to find excursion notes or trying to find their ballet shoes or whatever it is. Everything has a place, and that's kind of what I'm all about, is decluttering and then finding everything in your home to have its own place to live. Another thing I really like to do, and you guys know I love, is meal prep. So every Sunday I like to prep food ahead. It could be meatballs, I could pre-cook chicken, and this is stuff I will literally throw on a wrap, throw in the kids' sandwiches, throw with some salad for dinner, and it just makes the week, like especially the weeknights, which is always the most chaotic, run a lot smoother. So batch cooking is amazing. You can freeze meals. So you can pre-make lasagna, meatballs, pasta, special fried rice, pop it into some containers and put it in the freezer. And on the nights that you know you're really stretched for time, all you have to do is pop it out and then heat it up, and then your dinner's ready. So doing things like that, there's so many different meals you can pre-make, and even just pre-chopping your veggies, like you guys know I love doing, it helps so much. So I'm going to take you guys down to the kitchen now, because that's kind of like the heart of the home, and I feel like that place can become messy really fast. So I'm going to be showing you guys kind of how we keep organized, my best tips for that, and I'm going to work my way through the house. So we're going to go through kitchen, the wardrobe, the linen closet, the entryway, which is also known as the drop-off zone, which I'll go through a bit later, and just all those spaces, and really help you guys declutter and get the best storage solutions. Alright, first space is the kitchen. This is obviously the heart of the home, where it can get the most messiest and chaotic. And I know a lot of us feel like we're constantly cleaning the kitchen. So I'm just gonna show you some little areas that really help us kind of keep the benches clean and just how to like keep on top of, you know, your routine. So I'm gonna start with the fridge. Now our fridge is basically like our family command center. It has everything we need to know for the month ahead. It has all our meals out, and we also write down anything that we might need to grab at the shops if one of us is there. So I'm gonna quickly take you through it. These magnets are my own magnets. They're the Steph Pace planners. I give you guys a discount as well, which I'll pop it below. So that discount's always going for my YouTube fan. So here's our monthly magnet, and this really is a lifesaver for us. Each family member has a different texture. So the kids are blue, Ryan's green, and I'm red. When it's all of us, we usually write it in black. So everyone in the family knows what's going on. Ryan knows when I go back to work, when I'm away, if we have anything on, if the kids have swimming. We also write prep lunches, so one of us will do it. It really does help with communication, so you don't feel like you're always chasing each other down, trying to figure out what's going on. So definitely recommend having a family command center like this. Down here is our meal planner. You know I love meal planning. Meal planning is a really good tool for anyone. It helps you save a lot of money. You know exactly what you need from the shops. You're not going to the shops and just buying random stuff that ends up not being eaten and it goes off. It honestly does help you budget so much. Even if we don't eat these meals in this order, we still have the stuff to make it, even if that means we freeze the stuff at the end of the week. Also, having a freezer inventory is really handy. So say if I go to the shops and pork's on sale, I can stock up on pork and put it in the freezer. So having like a really organized fridge and freezer, or having a freezer inventory, is really handy because you can always see what you've got. So you're not going out and buying more pork when you've got some, if that makes sense. I always base our shopping list off the meal planner. It just helps you save so much money. It stops you wasting food. It stops food going off. Having an organized fridge, freezer, and pantry stops wastage a lot, and you always know what you've got, especially when you're doing your shopping list. You don't end up going out and buying like 3 more curry powders when you've already got some. So it just helps a lot. Now here's our don't forget list, and this is kind of like my declutter list and like to-do list as well. So either Ryan and I will try and do one of these things a week or a day, depending on how busy we are. And at least everyone in the family knows. Every Sunday I will also add to this. So this is just like the must-haves we needed to do when we got back from the van the other day. But it really does help keep the family like on a level playing field. Everyone knows what's going on. Going on from meal prep, having things laid out in the fridge in a certain way, having certain systems like having your kids' snacks, your lunches, and everything that you need laid out stops wastage as well. You don't end up finding things at the back of the fridge that you don't want to see. So also on Sundays I like to roast like sweet potato, chickpeas and stuff I can throw into salads. Here you can see I cook some Cajun chicken, and there's some meatballs in that one, and they're just really easy lunches and dinners if we have to do that. Down here we have the use me first shelf, so everyone knows in the family to look here before you open anything else. Things like that, and these routines will just become a habit for you guys over time. There's a couple areas of the house I find need to be decluttered a lot more than others, like the junk drawer, our entryway table, which is called the drop-off zone, which I'll show you in a sec. These are just the areas that you kind of like keep notice of. If it starts to look a bit cluttered, you just give it a good cull. So here is our junk drawer. Yes, we have a junk drawer. I really find junk drawers are useful because it stops your benches in your kitchen from getting messy. This does obviously get cluttered before anything else, but that's fine because we got these drawer dividers. I got these from Ikea, and it kind of keeps it like as organized chaos. But I definitely do recommend kind of going through your junk drawer and making a system for it. So this stuff is basically things I grab every morning. Like I have some makeup powder that I need. We've got chargers here, which I've just wrapped up and tied off, so it's just not as messy. You've got lots of pens, coins, and stuff like that. But I definitely don't condemn the junk drawer. I think it's a great thing to have. And of course, having an organized pantry is something that is just gonna make your house run smoother as well. Coming up with the categories for your pantry, things like snacks, kids snacks, side dishes, meal kits, things like that, and finding some good solutions for them are going to be handy as well. Also when you're making your shopping list, so you don't end up repurchasing things you already have. I definitely do recommend overhauling your pantry. I'll give you guys the link to that below. One part of our routine that really helps Ron and I, and I'm sure most of you guys probably do it already, but we always make sure we don't go to bed unless the dishwasher's been done, downstairs is clean, because again, you don't want to wake up to that mess and it's just going to create more hassle. Another thing I do is I always unload the dishwasher before I leave the house, so if people are home during the day, the dishes can go straight into the dishwasher. Of course, it doesn't always happen, but it's just a good habit to get into. And with this video, guys, like I don't want you to feel like you have to implement all these habits at once. It's just something you can start to introduce to your family or to start to do yourself, just to make your life easier. Now, another part of the home that tends to get really cluttered and messy and can just be chaotic is the entryway. So this is what I call the drop-off zone, and what I mean by that is this is an area where you literally will come in, you drop your bag, your keys, your phone, your wallet, your shoes, the kids' backpacks, school notes, mail, everything goes into this small space, and it's super easy for it to go out of hand. And if you can kind of nail your entryway, the rest of the house is going to flow. So I'm going to quickly show you guys how I keep our entryway functionable and a good drop-off zone. All right, so here we have the first point of like drop-off. So this is for mail, notes, anything like that. This is the Ikea vertical magazine holder. Absolutely love it. I use it in the office as well. It's perfect for kids' school notes and just stuff, so you can throw it in there and it doesn't have to take up your whole kitchen bench. Obviously, you've got some hooks for your hats. This is a shoe cabinet. I'm not really here to show you about storage. It's more like this system. So having a place where you can throw all of your stuff. Ideally, it'd be amazing to have like a mud room happening, so a bigger cabinet where the kids can put their bags. Our kids' station is in those cupboards there. That's the playroom, and that's where we keep, you know, all their sports stuff. I'll definitely do like a whole video on kids' systems to make life easier for you guys. But all right, here's the second part of the drop-off zone, and this is the hallway table. And then down here, this is a basket where basically, because we have a double-story home, anything that needs to go upstairs, we pop it in that basket, and whoever is last downstairs will bring it up. It's a really good system. I really enjoy, because having double-story home is really annoying. So anything that needs to go upstairs goes in this basket. And then this is the drawer where we put pretty much anything else. So you've got coins. It's kind of like another junk drawer, but it's in the entryway, so it makes life a lot easier. These containers are just from the reject shop. Also, any labels you see are from Little Label Co. But having like this drop-off zone, it really does make everything run a lot smoother. All right, next up is wardrobes. Wardrobes can be really hard in terms of storage and just making sure you get rid of all the clothes that you don't wear often. I like to do a big cull every 6 months. I find 6 months is a good time frame because you can also get gifted things that you might not wear, and we tend to hold on things that kind of give us memories of a fun time, but you might not wear them again. Now, I haven't always had a wardrobe this size. All the other wardrobes that we've ever had are tiny. Ryan and I had to share spaces. I had to try and jam drawers into the wardrobe. And it's also been really tough to try and find like good storage solutions for smaller spaces, which I'll also go into with you guys. But firstly, I want to talk about culling your wardrobe. We all tend to hold on to things that give us good memories, but you probably won't wear them again. Things like, obviously, it could be a high school jersey. I love to hang on to them, and I put them into some storage tubs. But we really kind of need to be honest with ourselves here and think about, are you actually going to wear it again? So I'm going to quickly go through my 3 top questions I like to ask myself if I get to say a top and I'm just not sure if I want to keep it or not. So the first question is, have I worn this in the last 3 to 6 months? The second question, which is my favorite, is if I saw this in a store, would I buy it? Number 3 is, do I know someone that would get more use out of this than me? So with those questions, you can kind of determine if you really need that top. And you'll probably find each time you cull, you'll keep looking at the same top and that will end up going. So I like to donate, or I'll give it to family or friends, or you can go to Facebook Marketplace. So that's kind of what I do with that. I also make Ryan do this as well. So get the whole family involved and you can all do a big cull together. So next up, we need to talk about storage. Now, in terms of accessories, I really like getting matching boxes. They don't cost a bomb. You can just go to your local $2 shop and use them. Put things like belts, scarves, hats, scrunchies, hair ties, anything like that you can pop in there, and it just keeps it a lot cleaner. Now, my favorite ever wardrobe hack, which I came up a few years ago, you guys, if you've been following me on Instagram, you would know what this is. It's called the Wear Again hook. Now, the Wear Again hook are for clothes that you will wear again, but they're like too dirty for the wardrobe, but too clean to go in the wash. So things like school uniforms, sports stuff, work uniforms, Harper and Willow both have these as well. And I love this too because for the girls, I can set their clothes up for them and they know where to get them. And like, there's no fights in the morning. The night before, we agree on the clothes they're wearing and then we put them on the Wear Again hook. These are also great. These are just the command hooks that you can get from Woolworths and you can stick them anywhere. I also use them on this side to hang up my dressing gown. So these can make a lot more space for you to hang items as well. So these are great, especially if you are renting, because you can take them off easily. Right, shoes. So they can be super bulky to store. Definitely ditch the box that they come in because they're all different shapes and sizes and they're not really pleasing to look at. So I love these Ikea boxes. These are the Scubs tubs. These are great because they can fit a couple of pairs in them. You can also get a cheaper version also from the reject shop. You don't have to break the bank to be organized. If you want all matching tubs and containers, definitely set a budget for yourself per month for a space. So designate a space that you really want to do first, and that way you can budget it into your finances. If you don't have much room for all your shoes, you can actually get this thing that hangs over the door. You can store shoes in there, even kids' toys, your accessories. There's so many different options you can do. So look for anything that you can hang. There's even hanging shelves. If you don't have many drawers, you can get hanging shelves as well. So this is the solution I came up with for Ryan's wardrobe because he really loves to throw his stuff in there. So this is great for kids as well. So I've just basically labeled Ikea tubs with work shirts, work shorts, and casual tops. So this is kind of like his wear again tub. So these are clothes he usually wears again. He throws them in there, and I just find it is a lot neater than having shelves with just like clothes thrown on them. So like you really do have to work with your family and what their personality is like, which is fine. And this just works really well for Ryan and I. Now, one problem we used to have was with the girls' clothes, Ryan would kind of get confused where certain things would go because I have it kind of laid out. So one little thing I did was this. So this is Willow's drawers. These are the drawer dividers from Little Label Co, which you guys would know. So what I basically did was got a Dymo label maker and I've just labeled the edge of the drawers. And this literally keeps it so much better. Everything is where it needs to be. This is the KonMari fold. If you're a new follower, definitely give it a go. Check out YouTube videos of it. It saves so much space and you know exactly what you have. Everything you own is laid out in front of you. I've been doing KonMari for so long now and it's amazing. So yeah, we got daycare, so any clothes that have like stains and stuff, we use that for daycare. But everything else, yeah, everything has its place and it stays like that. And then down here we've got leggings, shorts, and then jeans and trackies. But yeah, definitely recommend that if you and your partner are kind of struggling to kind of keep a system. Try the Dymo label makers because they do come off very easily. So good idea if you're renting. Now, speaking of clothes, I know doing things like folding washing and all that type of stuff, we kind of tend to put off because it's boring and it just sucks. So a little tip that I like to do is sometimes, like with me, I kind of make a mountain out of an anthill. I think it's going to be really crap. It's going to take hours and it honestly only takes me usually like 15 minutes. So you can time yourself. Another thing I like to do is watch a show while I fold or put a podcast on. So I like to listen to true crime podcasts, or I watch Bailey Sarian on YouTube as well in the background. So those are some little tips that can kind of make folding laundry a bit more bearable. And again, just try and think of your future self. One more laundry tip is I love to set a delayed timer the night before on our washing machine. So I'll quickly show you, but some models you can actually delay start the washing. So for me, at night time, I'll delay it 9 hours. So when I wake up, the washing's ready to either go in the dryer or be hung up. So it's kind of already done. You don't have to think about it. And basically all you have to do is go to the delay start. So you choose how many hours it starts in. Even if you're going out shopping and you want it done by the time you get back, you can just choose how many hours and then you just simply press start and it will just wait. So that's a really good little hack that I love to do. Right, the linen closet. So I'm not going to talk too much about the linen closet because there's not a whole lot to say, and I've just did a whole linen organization video, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, so you can check that out. But basically what I want to make a point of with your linen closet is you don't need a million towels and a million sheets. We owned so many, like we never even used half of them. So really like donate them to shelters, to RSPCAs, to the vet, anything like that, because you honestly don't need that many. As I said, with the kids, they will have probably 3 fitted sheets, obviously if they're being toilet trained, but again, you don't really need that much. With ours, we've obviously just sorted them into categories using these tubs, which you saw in the video the other week. So we have like quilt covers, everything is in a category. So like towels, quilt covers, flat sheets, cushion covers, everything has its place. And if I ever buy anything, that means I get rid of something. Alright, lucky last is the bathroom. I hope this video hasn't been too overwhelming. I really kind of just wanted to fit all my favorite stuff into one video of each section of the house. But yeah, as I said, you can find full videos below as well. So the bathroom, this is where the cabinets and stuff gets very, very messy. And you end up buying a lot of shampoo and conditioner that you've already got. So one thing I like to do is obviously cull through your cupboards and then get some tubs and just make categories of it. Here are the categories that I have. It's basically body, tanning, hair, face, contacts and face masks. This is just what works for me, and it hasn't gotten messy once. It is so much better having everything in a category because you know exactly what you have and what you need, and you really do, like, being organized honestly does save you a lot of money. Anyways guys, I hope this video helped a little bit. I kind of wanted to do, yeah, as I said, like a Steph crash course in one video, just my favorite storage and routine hacks throughout the house, just to give you guys a bit of guidance to start the new year. I definitely don't want you to feel overwhelmed. These are just habits like meal planning, meal prepping, you know, making sure you do like the delayed start on your washing, just little things like that. It's just all things I've kind of picked up over the years and helped me so much, because at the end of the day, we don't want to end up spending like a whole time just cleaning and chasing our tails. Again, that's why I do my cleaning schedule. I'll link that below as well for you. And even with cleaning, like, everyone's lifestyle is different. You need to do what works for you. So say if you'd rather smash out all the housework in like 2 days, do that. If you, like me, want to just spend like half an hour a day on an area of the house or like a section, that's what I do. There's no like one size fits all when it comes to like your house routines and like organization. Some people hate labels, and then there's people like me who would probably label their husband if they could. So just, you know, go easy on yourself, and definitely just start with the declutter challenge. Again, that declutter challenge I do a couple of times a year. It's a really good thing to revisit every couple of months just to get back on top of the clutter that can accumulate over time. In terms of organizing your time, so like planning your days, as you guys know, I love I have my own range of planners. I'm going to do a whole video on that as well, like how to manage your time, how to like set intentions for the year and actually put steps in place to achieve them. So if you'd like me to do that video, let me know, and I can probably do that next week for you guys. And I'll definitely do a meal prep with me video as well, so you can kind of see the recipes I do like to prep. And again, some people love to meal prep and some people don't. It's just about, you know, finding things that work for you. Anyways, I hope this video helped. Let me know if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week. Bye.